folks, we are joined by our guest Flor de Maria Paredes Mattos. She is joining us from Netherlands but originally from Peru. And I'm going to talk about a few interesting facts related to Peru towards the end of the episode, so stay tuned. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, coaching expatriates for their success, here's an exciting twist. First, let us tickle the brains of our guest Flor. So, Flor, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. Are you ready for it?
Okay, let's go.
Let's get the ball rolling. Here comes the first word: curiosity.
Kill the cat.
Invention.
Interesting.
Future.
Let's think about the present first. Live in the present.
Okay, I'll flip it past. So past will be my next question. Next word.
Past. Ooh, learnings.
Learning. Super. Book.
The cultural map.
Movie.
The cultural map. I should say the cultural map. My Bible sometimes.
Oh, so movie is also by the same name, or my next word
The
is
book
movie.
is the cultural map.
Yeah, book is the culture map.
Oh,
but my
movie.
next
Sorry,
word
I
is
think
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty Woman.
Oh, Pretty Woman. Okay. Next, universe.
Let's talk to the universe and think positive.
Leadership.
It's personal.
Role model.
Parenthood.
Success.
To fail.
And the last one is money.
Money.
Yeah.
Ooh. You need it. I need it, but I don't like it. That's the truth.
Quite interesting responses, and thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively, Flor. And there is one more rapid fire round waiting towards the end of the episode. And in the meantime, let me welcome the audience. So, folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life, but also to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Flor, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. A bit cold, as you can see. It's cold in the Netherlands. I just came from Latin America, Lima, where it was very warm. So I'm getting used to the cold again. But I'm good and happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. And thank you once again for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And let's get started, Flor. So please share with us the pivotal moments in your career journey that led you to become an intercultural corporate coach and career strategist, especially with a focus on multicultural workplaces, which is the most important topic today because we are all working with at least 2 to 3 different nationalities on a given day. For a person like me, I have interviewed people across 70 countries. So you can imagine the kind of cultural differences that we come across.
That is very exciting. I love that. Well, as I am thinking about your question, I realized that I've been exposed to a cultural change since I moved from Peru to the Netherlands, right? And in my early teens, my career of when I started working for a lawyer who was helping refugees getting into the country. My mother's friend asked me to help her with the language, speak Spanish and Dutch. And that's how I started dealing with people from other countries, talking to them, find them what they were all about, but also helping them to get residence in the Netherlands. So that in my 20s, right? After that, so I got in touch with people from non-Dutch already, not Peruvian. After that, I got bored after a few years and I thought, I want to go back to my passion. I love to travel and I've traveled since I was 20. I went to South America, to Peru, Venezuela, Bolivia. I wanted to go back to that. And I thought, why not find a job in the travel industry? Travel industry, again, international. I ended up working for Euro Disney in Paris, Mickey Mouse, Disney.
Yeah.
I love the park.
And again, I got in touch with young people from many countries. I shared the room at the first place where I stayed with a girl from Greece. That's where I learned, the beautiful food, for example, and the way they talk. And so it was quite early that I got in touch with people from many countries. After the travel industry, where I worked for hotels as well, where I could actually stay for free at the hotels, but I still had to pay my own flight. So I decided I need more money, and I moved into ICT, looked for a job, and I started basically my career in BT, being the right hand of one of the leaders in service and operations for Europe. So you can imagine, already from an early age up to then, I'm only dealing with international people.
Yeah.
During my period in BT, I worked myself up, if that's how you say it, from the assistant into a senior operations and service role, where I would manage people from different countries, people from India. We had a team in India as well. So I had to learn how to manage them, how to work with them. And back then, now I'm telling you that I'm old, but back then we didn't have Zoom. So to get to know them, to build a relationship, I had to go and stay there for a while. So that was really good. I realized that I was not only working with people, but also my clients were from different countries. For example, I was sent to Spain for 6 months to fix a problem with a client. I speak Spanish, right? So then I learned the culture. So for me, without me knowing, I have already that expertise, if you can say so, to easily learn another culture and recognize another culture easily. I think being exposed from such a younger age helps me, right? I also believe that if you go to a country and you visit the country, it's not the same as when you actually understand the culture. You need to experience it, like eating the food, talking to locals, maybe learning even the do and don'ts. So throughout my career, I've been in touch with many people from all over the world. I didn't realize that when I decided to become a coach. I got my certification. I studied for a year in the UK coaching academy, and I thought, wow, I'm going to do corporate and executive coaching because I have a background working corporate leadership, right? I never thought that my intercultural expertise, whatever you want to call it, was going to help me that much as it's helping me today. So it came to me as from very young. And if I talk about my USP, you can say I'm a coach, I have a corporate background, and I am multicultural because I've lived to work in different countries. I love to learn new cultures. I love to learn the whys, right? Why somebody acts like this way in India, why is somebody doing that in Spain? I love that. That intrigues me.
Okay.
So that's how I end up being a coach who's actually loves to coach expats. Yes.
That's amazing. So apart from this intercultural expertise, what are the top 3 things that have contributed to your professional success so far? What's your success mantra?
Yes. One is learn that failure is an option, and that if you fail, you're always going to learn something. And the more you learn, easy to be successful, right? Because you gain experience, and with that you become successful. That's one. The second one is perseverance. Even if you tried and it doesn't work, just get up and try again. May not have worked the first time, it's going to work the second time, and if not, the third one. Last but not least, commitment. If you tell yourself that you're going to do something for yourself, you have to do it. Because I know people who can tell you that they do things for you, And they find that very important because I don't want to disappoint you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do it and do it. But when they have something to do for themselves, they just, oh, it's just for me. And that is the worst that you can do because you are the most important person and you don't want to disappoint yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I think commitment is the third one. Yeah.
Got it. So learning, saying that failure is one of the options. Failure is an option. Perseverance and then commitment. So these are the three key things. Okay, that I have noted down. And now I'm interested to understand why did you establish this empowerment foundation? What motivated you to establish this platform, and how does it contribute to unlocking the potential within professionals while navigating these cultural transitions in their careers?
Yes. Empowerment Foundation, because we used to call it Empower Amsterdam, but we changed the name Empowerment Foundation. It's like deep in my heart. When we set it up with Shay, partner, co-founder, 8 years ago already, we just had one thing in common. We wanted to help people finding out how they can be helped by coaching. I became a coach. Shay, being a good friend of mine, experienced and was actually the witness of my coaching journey. And we both thought like coaching is the tool to help people. So how do we make sure that people who need support, guidance, coaching, that we can help them? So we came with this great idea to create a foundation and to coach people, at least 5 sessions for free. We started with a small team. By now, we have 28 certified coaches providing free services for the foundation.
Yeah.
We have a lot of clients from all over the world living in the Netherlands, right, who come to us for support whenever they feel like I've been applying for jobs for 8 months and nothing has happened. You know, what's happening? So then we coach them. And what we give them is like what I call the holistic approach.
Yeah.
We have in the first session we found out what it is that they need. Do you know what you're looking for? Do you know yourself? What are your strengths? What are your values? Then we move to the next one. Now, do you know what you want to do? Right? Do you research? And then we help them with the how, like how am I going to write my CV? How am I going to write a cover letter? The more I call it the easiest part, because the most important and difficult part is finding out for some people, what is it that I want, right? What is it that I want? What am I going to be good at? What are my strengths? So this is what I call the holistic approach, one of the core activities of the foundation. And people can come to us from everywhere because our coaches are all international. Some people can even get coaching in their own language. So we have people from Poland, from Europe, from the US, from Spain, from Latin America, from China. You name it, we cover, I think, almost 39 countries or even more. So there is this thing with us that when we have a client who come to us for coaching and they love what we do, they want to help us and volunteer. So they come to us for a period of 6 months until they find a job. And once they find a job, they move on, which is fair, right? Because we don't want to keep them forever. It's just give and take. What we also do next to the coaching, we do workshops, trainings in a specific topics like how to write your CV or how to deal with low confidence whenever you've heard the no's. How do you deal with that? How do you know that this is going to be the job for you? Or a lot of trainings, workshops, in addition to the coaching sessions, which so far we are very proud that we have helped many people getting back to the workflow. Yeah. So the foundation has it's something that we are hoping to keep forever. It's completely non-profit, but we have a bunch of volunteers who keep it all alive and booming, I guess. Yeah.
Got it. And you said your coaching methods are different and they're described as both practical and also infused with emotional intelligence, because that emotional intelligence aspect is gaining a lot of prominence. and it is more important than ever. So I would like to understand, how do you balance these aspects in your approach, and why do you think this particular combination is crucial for professional development, especially in the diverse environments?
Yeah, I in my own coaching business, because I am a coach of folk as well, next to the foundation, I touch on emotional intelligence quite a lot. Why? Because I believe that in order to be successful in your personal life, but also in your professional life, you need to have a good balance of intellectual intelligence and emotional intelligence. IQ helps you to be good at school, to get good grades, but emotional intelligence helps you to succeed in life. Because if you know how to manage your own emotions, you're bound to be successful and to be able to deal with people, to understand people, and especially understand other cultures. For me, emotional intelligence is self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and social skills. Once you recognize all those in you, I mean, I do see some clients, with high IQ and very low EQ. So we need to work on that. We need to balance it. And if you want to work on your emotional intelligence, you will be confronted with your childhood, with your past. It is important. To
Yeah.
me, it's vital to have them both at the same level. That's what I touch on it during my coaching. Yes. Yes.
Got it. And see, you are I would say, a great expert in the intercultural space, and you have a profound understanding of this expatriate journey. So, what challenges you often see professionals facing during the cultural transitions, and what kind of strategies do you recommend for overcoming them?
Yes, one of the things that I always talk about with them is the fact that, and these are people that, very senior and have a lot to offer to a company, but sometimes they feel a little bit of insecurity because they have been doing a great job in their home country,
Yeah.
right? And now they're moving to do the same job, and sometimes an even better job, in another country where they don't know the people, they don't know the country, the culture. So that's a key challenge, especially if you're going to bring your family, because what is my wife going to do? Maybe she studied to be a nurse and she's coming to the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, in order to be a nurse, you have to speak Dutch most of the times. So that is a struggle. Where do I send kids to school? Do they go to a Dutch school or do they go to a Dutch school? Work-wise, how do I talk to my colleague who is from this country in Europe, and how do I cope with this another country? I mean, it's challenging. What we always work on is first, because I am in the Netherlands, of course, understanding the Dutch culture, experiencing the Dutch culture. Why? Why are the Dutch the way they are? Very simple. Talking about it, making sure that they understand where being bold and direct, for example, comes from, right? Once you know that helps you. What we also touch on is very simple communication styles, the do and the don'ts and the whys, right? It's a whole conversation that you have. And two things are very important here is be aware of unconscious bias.
Yeah.
Because we all have that without wanting to say something. We go and say it and be open-minded. And then I go back again to emotional intelligence, because if you can manage your emotions, it's because you know yourself very well. And if you know yourself very well, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easier for you to get to know somebody, especially somebody from another country with different values, different culture, and language, right?
Yeah, great. And now let's talk about the trends that you are observing in an increasingly global workplace. How can professionals adapt and thrive in such diverse environments? So you mentioned about empathy and being sensitive to culture, and also building this emotional intelligence, right? So Other than that, are there any
Yes.
essential strategies for career success in this evolving landscape?
I think that to me is number one. And not only when you work in another country, you need to go back and reflect on your career. It's reflect on, am I still doing the job that I like to do?
Mhm.
Am I moving to another country to do another job for the money, or am I doing because I really want to? And I really feel like I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to be open to be in a different country, different language, right? Talk to yourself first, reflect. If everything is okay, if you're happy and you're willing and you're open, success is there. And now many people nowadays, you can work from any country and work in any country, right? Like I was in Peru last week and I was working as I work from my laptop. So for me, it's like I just had to wake up earlier, but it's the same, right? So it is possible, but you still need to be doing what you like to do. You still need to have a job where you are using your strengths and not your weaknesses, because you're going to be challenged in a new country already with all the changes. So you want to feel comfortable in what you do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes absolute sense actually. Like I think I can relate to this aspect because I've been working in a global environment for past 18 years or so, ever since I joined the corporate world, and I can relate to it. And I got an opportunity to work with folks from Australia, China, Malaysia, Philippines, and then Europe, many places, and US is
Nice.
something very common. US and Canada, and also Mexico, part of Latin America. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how. Middle
Nice.
East is something which I haven't worked so much, but I've traveled there once, and I can relate to what you're saying. Yeah, these are some powerful nuggets of wisdom for sure. Amazing.
Yes, yes, yeah. You have to love it. I mean, I love to find out the whys of the cultures,
Yeah.
the why people react the same, or this way or the other way. Yeah, yeah.
So this has been incredible conversation so far, and let's add some spice, some more spice, some
Oh
more
gosh.
excitement to the episode. So you got it right. I'm going to ask you second rapid fire questions. Second set of rapid fire questions. Okay. So if
Okay.
you're ready, let's get started. Okay. So
Already?
here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
It's a quote for that I have on my. But it has to be my own, not a quote from somebody else. I guess. So then I will say, don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be
That's my
afraid.
quote.
Amazing. Amazing. In fact, I had one more conversation today in a different language, the Hindi. Even the guest was telling me the same thing. If you succeed, you learn only one thing, but if you fail, you learn 100 things, right? So that is how you have to look
Exactly.
at failure. So I can
Yeah.
resonate.
And
Yeah.
yes, and the more you fail, the more you learn, the successful you will be. It's just like so I believe that. I believe very much in
And
that.
one other thing is like my recent book, TGV Inspiring Lives Volume 2, was launched in December 2023. And even in that book, also, we have had a special section called Favorite Failures, especially
Ooh, wow.
of
I would like to
speakers.
read that book.
Yeah, it is available in your country as well. I'm going to share the link. Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes,
So please
please.
order a copy for yourself. And great. So, Flor, let's move forward. And here comes my next bullet. If you could swap your life for a day with someone, who would it be and why?
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, wow.
Oprah does already quite a lot of good things. She used to be my role model. I think she still is. I don't know if I should change, but I love her. I like the way she helps and she cares. She opened a school in Africa. So I will do much more. I will open a school for abandoned children in Peru, for example, and I will have more foundations to help women in need, for example. Yeah.
I really wish you get a chance to do that. And, let's move forward. Can you describe yourself in just one word?
Caring.
And then, what do you do if you win $1 billion lottery?
I think you know that by now. I dream of having my foundation in Peru, where I was born.
Hmm.
So I would just set up foundations and help abandoned children in many
Yeah.
countries where there's it's
Hmm.
need, and also kids in war zones like nowadays, you know. So yeah, that's what I would do first. I would spend a little bit of money on my own family, but most of it will go to charity.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
that's a noble cause, and I strongly pray in the universe that you get $1 billion.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, me too, me
Yeah.
too.
Here comes the next bullet. If you were given
Okay.
a power to be invisible, what will you do first?
Okay. Again, I would steal from the rich and give it to the poor. Because I believe these rich people have so much money and they spend so much money on things that are not important. And then I look at TV and I see all that is happening in different countries, poor countries. I would just steal and give a little. Leave them with enough money, but share a little bit more. Share with the rest. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And here comes the last bullet. What will be one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you would like to see or invent yourself?
I gotcha. Well, my kids and my husband say that I'm always losing my phone in the house. But I think there is a gadget for that. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe something that will remind me where I put my phone because it's always gone. I'm always asking, and they always say, Mama, you always lose your phone in the house. I guess that would be
Good one. I liked it. And that's a great rapid fire. Let's be back to the mainstream. So, for our
it.
audience seeking actionable advice, right? So, what are some practical steps they can take to enhance their professional growth and success, particularly in the multicultural setting? So, what's your
Yeah.
actionable one or two pieces of advice?
Yeah. Build trust with your new colleagues, with the new international or from other country colleagues. Build trust, get to know them, open mind. Avoid being unconscious bias. Just open up to them, understand their culture. I also always say that don't let your own self go. Right, just adapt too much to the culture, but just remain yourself and integrate, especially at the workplace. It's important. Number one thing is build trust with your colleagues, build trust with your boss, build trust with whoever is around you so that they can understand where you come from and you understand where they come from. When traveling to another country, expats go for 4 years, right? Usually for 2 4 years. Sometimes they forget, and I have experienced that with some of my clients, they forget to think about their own career. Please still work on your short term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals, career goals. Make them smart, right? Even if you make them smart.
Mhm.
Make sure that you don't, after the 4 years, you're like, okay, now what next?
Yeah.
If you don't have goals to follow, if you don't have career goals,
Mhm.
and you're just there moving around for the money, at some point you're not challenging yourself and putting yourself into this comfort zone.
Yeah.
And one day you say, what is all the money about when I'm not liking my job anymore? So keep challenging yourself. Basically.
I simply loved the last message. It's about working on your short term career plans because I've seen a
Yeah.
few people, especially who are deputed to different country from consulting organizations, they get stuck after they return, right? And moreover, they don't even dare to ask for a raise because they are already being sent on deputation where they earned in a foreign currency, and they think, okay, I've already earned enough, but they don't really get paid for what they deserve. I have observed in many of my mentees, like who have been to the US and other countries from India. Yeah, so that's a
Yeah.
powerful one.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, because life goes on. Your
Yeah.
career is your career. You need to manage it. People who don't do it for themselves, they let the company manage their career
Hmm.
because the company sends them there and they just follow. When you should be the one who's managing your own career, right? Your own career path.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is
Got it. Wonderful. I loved every bit of this conversation. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
Exciting, I guess. People that know me will say, "Oh my God, Flor in a podcast." I think it's my first one ever.
Oh,
My
is
first one
it?
ever, Naveen. Yeah. I always like to be on the background. I like to talk, but no cameras. But you've been the first, and you've made it very easy for me. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. I enjoyed it actually very much.
super.
Yeah.
And you are one among the 80% of my guests, or probably 70% of my guests. For them, it is their first podcast. And I think you'll remember me for quite a long time or forever.
Yes, well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's an exciting day. So I hope I made sense with all my
No, you
answer all your questions correctly because I get very excited when I talk about
yeah.
my job basically and everything that I do. I am one of the lucky ones who work with my passion
Mm,
is coaching, and you know
yeah.
that's it's so easy for me to talk
It,
about it, and sometimes too much.
yeah, it reflects in every word that has come from you today, right? So you are really passionate and you have that genuine intent of helping others, right? So which not many have that.
Yeah.
And I wish you a lot of success, loads of success to you and all your clients as well. Thank you once again for being part of our journey, Flor. And definitely we are going
Thank you
to
very much.
invite you again onto the show.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me and looking forward to read the book.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to share the link. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you. So, friends, that was our episode with Flor. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. In case if you haven't already subscribed to the Guiding Voice podcast, please subscribe because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. If you have enjoyed this episode and found the conversation useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the Guiding Voice, so spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now let's cruise into the trivia segment. So we had an amazing guest, Flor, who is originally from Peru, but now living in Netherlands. I thought I would give you some facts related to Peru, the place where Flor belongs to. And here comes the first fact about Peru. Machu Picchu's agricultural terraces, right? So Machu Picchu is renowned for its breathtaking architecture, but lesser known are its innovative agricultural terraces. So these terraces were designed not just for cultivation, but also served as an engineering marvel, providing stability to the entire structure. Second is about floating islands of Lake Titicaca. I hope I am pronouncing it right. So Lake
Very good now.
okay, Lake Titicaca, shared by Peru and Bolivia, is home to the Euros people who live on floating islands made of chotorot reeds. And these unique islands are constructed and regularly maintained by layering new reeds on top, creating a fascinating and sustainable way of life. And third is about Nazca lines and astronomical alignment. The famous Nazca lines, gigantic geoglyphs etched into the Desert, are known for their mysterious shapes visible from the air. And what's less known is that some lines align with key astronomical events, suggesting that Nazca people had advanced knowledge of celestial bodies and their movements. So, likewise, if you know any interesting and less known facts about Peru, please comment them if you are watching it on YouTube or if you have found this episode on social media platforms. You can leave your comments and I would be happy to review them. So, folks, that's it for today. So, thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV community. So, we would love to hear from you. Do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, either through our social media channels or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com and let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. So goodbye for now. See you in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care.